Okay, good morning everyone. Here we will talk about speech function, politeness, and cross-cultural communication. We are from group 6 and I am Nindya Hermawati, student number 67.
I'm Kadek Kusuma Dewi, student number 75.
And let's begin the topic with the three main of topics. There are the function of speech, politeness and address forms, linguistic politeness in different culture. So the first one is the function of speech. We have here two general function of speech. There are effective function in social and referential function in informative. For example, we have good morning, Nindya. What a lovely day. Yes, it is beautiful. How's your weekend? It's very great. That is the example of the function of speech in general. So but now we have the ways to categorizing the function of speech. The first one is expressive utterance. It is express the speaker's feelings. For example, I am happy today or I am afraid. The second one is directive utterance. It is about attempt to get someone to do something. For example, wash your clothes or could you close the window? And the third, referential utterance. It is provide information. For example, cooking class will be held on Sunday at 2 p.m. The fourth one is metalinguistic utterance. It is comment on language itself. For example, hegemony is not a common word. And the fifth one is poetic utterance, that is focused on aesthetic feature of language such as a poem or a rhyme. For example, Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. And the sixth one is pathic utterance, express solidarity and empathy with others. For example, hi, how are you? Next, we have basic component of interaction. There are three basic components. The first one is expressive, which is the speaker, the directive is address, and the referential is the message. In interaction, we have component to support the interaction. There are expressive as the speaker, directive as the addresses, and referential as the message, like I told before. And directive is concerned with getting people to do something. For example, sit down. Could you sit down? I want you to sit down. There are some factors that affect people in using directives. The social distance between participants, relative status, and formality of the context. Now we move to the politeness and address forms. Their politeness is one of many important things that we use in speech, communication, or interaction with other people. We use politeness basically for the feelings of others, for the social values of the society, and for formality. There are two types of politeness, the positive and the negative politeness. Positive politeness is solidarity oriented. It is emphasis shared attitudes and values. For example, when the boss suggests that subordinate should use VN or the first name to her, it is a positive politeness move expressing solidarity and minimizing status difference. And the negative politeness is a ways of people respect and avoids intruding on them. Negative politeness involves expressing oneself appropriately in terms of social distance and regulating status differences, using TLN to your superiors and older people that you don't know well.
So here we have an example of politeness and address form, especially in office. The boss said to the assistant, "Could you bring this paper to room A, please?" And then here example of politeness and address form in the house. That a doctor said to the her mother, "Mommy, can you help me to wash my shirt?" And then here the last example of politeness and address form in school. The student A talked to the student B to help. "Hi Brenda, can you please help me to count this one?" So the next topic is linguistic politeness in different culture. When we talk about linguistic politeness in different culture, that point can happen is miscommunications. The second is learning another language. The third is sociolinguistic assumptions. And the last is acceptance and refusal on invitations. Here's example of miscommunications based on cultural differences. In some village in Subang, if someone wants to invite people to come to the wedding ceremony, she or he uses cigarettes as an invitation. If someone gets an expensive cigarettes, it means that she or he has to give much money to the hostess and vice versa. Here's another example. And then is the example of linguistic politeness. In Karawang, if there is a wedding ceremony, the goods from the bridge room are mentioned and the list of price are also mentioned. If we come from outside of Karawang, which have different culture, we automatically think that culture is impolite because mentioning the goods and the price are unusual thing. And the last part is a greeting. Greeting is a part of communications and serve an effective function. Here's the examples of greetings. How are you? Apa kabar? Kumaha dama? Punapi gatra? And pripun kabare? And the conclusions of our presentations is social context, social status, formality, and the relationship between the participants are the reasons why people express the same speech functions differently on different occasions. It is also a matter of politeness. A sociolinguistic aims to identify the different weight put on these factors in different cultures. Thank you for the time. So here we have 3 questions for audience to discuss. The first one is, what is the relations between politeness and different culture? And the second is, what is the difference between positive and negative politeness? And the third, mention the ways to categorizing the functions of speech and give the example of each function. Thank you.